guys make a really big jump from freshman to sophomore year?
Generally, they do. Generally, that's one of the bigger jump years in a guy's career. And, you know, I played Dante probably even more minutes than he deserved at times last year, you know, betting on the future that this guy's got a chance to be special. I think he can be an all-ACC player. We need to play him till his wheels fall off last year a little bit to get him the kind of experience and confidence to where he can make hopefully a big jump as a sophomore and junior and have, you know, big time years. You know, we're optimistic that Gabe, it took a little longer for Gabe than I anticipated, but he played, you know, pretty well the last month. Now we need him to start the year playing at that level. It'll probably, you know, a lot with some of these guys is how they get started. If they have a couple good games early in the year, it really relaxes them, kind of takes some pressure off and makes them believe that they're going to be good. Shows them that they can play well. And so I think we have some important early games for certain guys in our program. Not just those guys, even a guy like Landry Noko, to have a couple of good early games will really give him confidence to move forward.
Jordan being a senior, is he a guy that you expect to be a leader this year?
You know, Jordan is a leader. He's not the most vocal guy on the team by any stretch, but he is, you know, this last 3 to 4 months I've noticed a little bit of a difference. You know, some of it I think, and we all have to remember what Jordan went through. You know, that was the stroke and coming back to playing so quickly and a little bit of uncertainty and all the things that are involved with that is you know, really challenging and probably more difficult than any of us would understand. I don't know if you could understand that, you know, if that happened to you and nobody really exactly knew why, and you're going to go back out and compete. But I think the farther he's gotten away from that situation, the more he feels like, hey, I'm fine. And now that's allowed him to not only concentrate on his play, but also then move to the next step, which is trying to be more vocal as a leader. And he certainly sets a very good example for our younger players.
Do you see that he's gotten stronger as a person for having gone through that?
I do. You know, one of the things that I love about Jordan is, and I think it's really special, is I think Jordan is one of those guys that has really enjoyed his Clemson experience. You know, he's gotten involved on campus. He has a lot of friends all over campus. He's done some neat things, obviously, and even with the video work that he's done in the athletic department. Like, he's a terrific young man, and he's a guy that has thoroughly enjoyed his Clemson experience and made the most of it. He's not just been a guy that's, you know, worried about basketball or school and basketball. I mean, he's gotten out and he's been visible on campus and done things that you want your guys to do. And some guys, you know, don't have quite as much energy to do all of that because they're so worn out from the basketball and the school. You know, one of the things that helps Jordan is he is a good student. He's a bright guy, and so he's also an ambitious person that gets out and gets involved. And I think he's had a wonderful Clemson experience.
Does he still have checkups on?
You know what? I don't think he does anymore. I think that's all kind of been put to bed. At least I haven't heard anything about it here like this year. I think that's all ended at some point last year.
What do you think of his video work and stuff he does on the video?
I think it's great, and I think he's had more fun with it than he realized. I knew he was interested in it and thought it would be a cool thing, but what he's been able to do with it and the involvement that he's had and, you know, how much ownership he's gotten into some of the projects, I think has been really eye-opening for him. And, you know, it's changed him, I think, a little bit from the standpoint of, you know, whether it's getting involved in that, I don't know, or whether it's getting involved in athletic administration, or I know he's talked a little bit about that. He's smart enough that I don't think wants to coach. He's would rather be on the other side of it. But, you know, again, I think it's been a great experience for him, and obviously the people in the video do unbelievable work. Our staff in that aspect is top notch. Rick Bagby and their group, those guys are incredible, and hopefully we're going to get an ACC network, and I think when we do, that group's we're going to be a school that leads the charge in terms of being ready for it.
The non-conference schedule, I know it wasn't easy to put together, but are you pleased with how it came out?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's always really hard. I think, you know, it's really neat, and Mark Fox is a friend of mine at Georgia, and, you know, I owe him a little bit of thank you, at least from the standpoint of agreeing to do the series and agreeing to open up our new building. You know, I talked to Dan, and one of the things we wanted to do was try to get a good game in that first game against a name school, a rivalry of some sort, and to have Georgia open the facility, I think is really exciting. Mark and I are friends, so we don't really love playing each other, but we know it's probably a good game, and so we're going to do it. And him to do that, I think, helps. You know, we've been able to find some games against SEC schools. Just finished up with Arkansas and Auburn. Now we're picking up Georgia and Alabama, and I think Alabama will, you know, be a good team here. You know, how good this year, I don't know, but certainly when Avery Johnson gets his group in there, that's going to be a good group of players. They're already doing well recruiting-wise, and so I think that's another name that our fans understand and is exciting. But it's hard. It is really hard to put together the kind of schedule. We did some things where we wanted, you know, being in Greenville, we thought it made some sense to try to get some local schools. So we've gotten Wofford, who's done a great job there. Mike Young is a great coach and good friend of mine, and that's going to be an excellent game. USC Upstate with Coach Payne. He's an outstanding coach, coming off 20 wins. So we have some good games locally to help kind of fill the arena and get some excitement. So, yeah, I'm pretty pleased, and certainly our ACC schedule is always going to be difficult.
All right, y'all, we need to get Brad to WCCP. If you're playing golf,
Thank you.
probably gather about 12:20 for instructions and that sort of thing. So, thank y'all.
Instruction.
Thanks, Brad.